Alright guys, how you doing? And welcome back to another glorious video on this channel where today, you've guessed it, it's the YouTube X side. This is going to be our team for this season and we're obviously going to get top rank. I mean, come on, obviously we're going to get top rank. Well, hopefully that's the idea. Let's see how closely we get to the top and of course let us know along the way how well your team is doing and see if you can beat me as well. So this is the 15-man squad I've selected, which is subject to change, I have to say, because various injuries and what not. But let's go through it from the start. We've got David De Gea in goal at a cheeky 5.5. I think he's the best goalkeeper in the league by a country mile, and it'll be stupid not to have him. And of course, they're at Bournemouth on the opening day. And I've got Jakupovic, Hull City, probably not going to feature as much in my team, but at 4 million and for a keeper who might well play for a team, I think it's not a bad option. And of course, the keepers are very, very low priced. Usually easy to deal with as well. So, interestingly, I've decided to not have any defenders from the same team as my goalkeepers. Because if neither keep a clean sheet, I'm in a lot of trouble. So as you can see, that's the logic. Ashley Williams there, 5 million. We saw the Euros. He was absolutely phenomenal. And Swansea's first two games, I believe, are against newly promoted sides. Absolutely fantastic. And I think Ashley Williams really is a must. But you can tell from the squad there, the money remaining is zero. I have used every single penny in my disposal for this team. Aaron Cresswell at 5.5 is subject to change. I'm waiting to see how long Aaron Cresswell is injured for. I don't know if he's going to be fit in time for the start of the season. I may well change him if it's a long-term injury. So we'll keep that one on the hold. But I do think Cresswell is a brilliant defender, a brilliant crosser of the ball, and he's got a really, really good left foot. One of the most consistent players, I believe, in the league, defensively-wise. We've got Jose Font. Just won the Euros with Portugal, again 5.5. The defensive prices really are quite similar this year. We'll come on to the tougher stuff in the midfield and attack later on. But yeah, Jose Font, really good defender at 5.5. John Terry, Conte might play free at the back, and if he does, John Terry may well feature. I just think for a guy of his calibre to still be at the top level, he's been there, he's done it, he's won the Champions League, etc. John Terry is a top-class defender, arguably still England's best defender right now, but he can't get in the squad. Only won the title this time last summer, let's not forget that, 5.5. And Seamus Coleman, you remember how good he was in that debut season for Roberto Martinez, but Seamus Coleman on the Ronald Koeman could be really, really good. Licensed to own forward. We've seen how Koeman's done with people like Klein, like Callum Chambers. Coleman may well be back to his best, but let's certainly hope so. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Let's start off with the midfield. From the right, we've got Adeline Guediora at 4.5. Remember, he scored that goal in the FA Cup, the Thunderbolt. No idea if it's going to feature in Watford's plans, but at 4.5, just a fifth cheap midfield option. Probably not going to use him that much, really, but just good to have there someone cheap, which has allowed me to spread the funds across these four fantastic players, in my opinion. Gylfi Sigurdsson. We know all about Iceland at the Euros. We know how good this guy is, wanted by other clubs. Sigurdsson on the set pieces as well. I'm excited to see how he does with Swansea, and again, Burnley and Hull in the first two games. It could be glorious stuff for Swansea City. Mkhitaryan just arrived from Dortmund. We know what he's all about. He's played at the big levels with Dortmund, Signal Iduna Park, Europa League against Liverpool. We saw what he could do, 9.5. Again, Bournemouth on the opening day. He's going to be a starter for Mourinho for sure. I think Mkhitaryan's going to be special. A lot of people would have put Martial instead. I think Martial is going to dip a bit, you know, playing out of position. He's a striker, really, and in midfield, I don't think he's as effective as he can be. Sofian Feghouli at 5.5. I can't get my head around how the Premier League have made him 5.5. The bloke scored in the Champions League and the Europa League last season. Valencia are in the Champions League, and this guy was playing for them on a weekly basis. Gary Neville came and it went pear-shaped, but still 5.5. It's an absolute joke, considering that's how much this little fellow was the same nationality. Riyad Mahrez is, of course, the first name on my team sheet. We know all about this guy. He may well not be at Leicester. I don't care where he's playing. He's going to be in the team, even if he plays for Bournemouth, respectively. But he could be at Arsenal. Of course, if he goes to Barcelona, that's a different story. But at 9.5, this guy is absolutely majestic. And I believe he's one of the best players in the division. And, of course, Mahrez will be supplying, I believe, Ahmed Musa, well, as well as Vardy. But I've gone for Musa because he's cheaper, younger. He thinks he's as quick as Vardy. I hope he's as good. Let's see how he does. It's a bit of a risk, I know, but Vardy's in sort of 10 million region now. Musa at 7.5 is not a bad shout. Let's see how he does. Take a bit of a risk. They've got Hull on the opening day. Really good stuff, I think, from Ahmed Musa to come this season. Salomon Rondon, West Bromwich Albion's top scorer. You know, Tony Pulis will be grinding out those results, and I think he's got the accuracy in his locker at 6.5 to find the back of the net with ease. And, of course, the best player in the league, by a mile, in my opinion, is Sergio Aguero. Somehow, never been player of the season, but at £13 million, I don't care if he's £25 million, he's going to get in. This guy can score from absolutely anywhere. But this is the FPL Updates YouTube XI. Will come later. Well, it's when it's closer to game week 1. We'll be looking at the starting 11 and maybe if Aaron Cresswell's still here, etc. Maybe Guardiola might come out for someone who's likely to start. That's cheap as well. But this is the team. Let me know what you think of the team. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. And thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time.